Srimad Bhagavatam class at Visual Bhakti Yoga, ISKCON Hare Krishna Temple. Welcome to all the online viewers. So we'll be continuing from our daily reading. In the verse we are at is text number 19. 18 we've concluded yesterday. Yes. Please repeat after me. Please sing together. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutair Mahadbhir Yaima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamushu Purusha Bhunte Gunan Shodashatmaka Solan Trisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satatapi Bhatam Bhakti Vedanta Margapanthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. So, a bit of a recap. We see that these two sons of demigod Kuvera, who is the treasurer of demigods, Srimad Bhagavatam explains, Madira Makto, they were intoxicated due to liquor. And not only that, Shri Madan Andho, they were intoxicated with the pride of wealth. And therefore, Andho, they were blind to the realization of spiritual existence and their position. And Surat Atmajo, nonetheless, they are sons of the demigods. So this condition is not befitting. Their anugraha arthaya. So for the purpose of showing them special mercy, anugrahaya, shapam dasyam idam jugo, Narad Muni, he cursed them. But this curse was Tayur Anugrah Arthaya. It was for the purpose of showing mercy. And the example Srila Prabhupada gives is like when a child is sleeping, but he needs to take a medicine. So to wake up the child, the father sometimes pinches the child. And so it's painful for the child, but it's good for the child that he wakes up and takes medicine. So similarly, we also are sleeping in the lap of Maya, oblivious to the fact that this life one day will end. So sometimes Krishna, through material nature, or directly through devotees, or directly himself, gives us few slaps here and there, so that we wake up to this fact that our prime duty is to gain Krishna Prem, Krishna Bhakti, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead, where we belong. So for this reason, actually it is not a curse, it is anugraha. And then Narad Muni explains the psychology of why this case was there, given to them. So can anyone, explain that why did Narad Muni, who hardly or never curses, he decided to case these two.
For their benefit, that's what we are recapping.
So for their benefit, Narad Muni could have just told them. Why the case?
I remember the story that you told about the father and the son. So the son didn't know the value of money before, but when he worked hard, he knew the value of money. So if Narad Muni have given them the benefit that they require, they would not know the benefit of it. But because they were given cursed, that's why I think they know their benefit and.
Yeah, very close, very close.
Also, like they were drunk in the alcohol, and also they they were drunk on the money they have, right, in the pride.
Exactly. Yeah, this is what Narad Muni actually says, that 4 things generally make us very proud. Janma, good birth; Aishwarya, fame; Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, learning, education; and Shribhir, beauty and wealth. However, Shri Madad Adi Jata Bhir, Narad Muni says, but the worst of all is money, especially money which comes without hard work, because there's no value for it. And if someone has money and we try to tell them, dear son, this is no good, what you are doing doesn't befit your behavior, you are sons of demigods, you are drunk, and that too bathing in the Ganges, naked with apsaras, what is this? They will say, hey, who are you to tell me? I've got so much money. As they say, the intoxication of wealth, nothing can actually equal it. So even if Narad Muni tried to explain to them, they would not understand, because firstly, they were intoxicated, as Rahul Prabhu said, with liquor, Madira Matto, and then on top of that, Shri Mother, intoxication of pride of wealth, and therefore andho, blind, completely blind. So therefore, this special anugraha, special mercy was needed. And for that reason, Shapam, Narad Muni cursed them. But that curse actually was a benediction, as we will look here. So, text number 18, we'll just have a quick look at it. So, in this verse, Shukdev Goswami is explaining Sadhunam, of the saintly persons, Samachittanam, of those who are equal to everyone, Mukunda Chara Ishanam, those whose only business is to save Mukunda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who always aspire for that service. Upekshai, neglecting the association, Kim, what? Dhanastambhai, rich and proud, Asadvihi, with association of undesirable person, Asad Ashrahi, taking shelter of those who are Asad or non-devotees. So Prabhupada translates, saintly persons, sadhu, think of Krishna 24 hours a day. They have no other interest. Why should people neglect the association of such exalted spiritual personalities and try to associate with materialists, taking shelter of non-devotees, most of whom are proud and rich? So the significant word here used is asadvihi, association of undesirable person, and asad ashraya, taking shelter of those who are asad or non-devotees. So we have to question ourselves, where do we put our faith in and where do we put our shelter in? Are we under the shelter of those people or individuals who themselves are blind, who themselves are not devotees? And if yes, then where are they leading us? They're leading us into the ditch. So Bhagavatam says, Andha yatha andhair upgeya maninas. He is blind, but we idolize him, and he is leading us in the blind ditch because he is going to fall there as well. And we are bound by some attachment to such kind of persons. Therefore, it is very important that at least internally we know who our shelter is. Our shelter is Krishna. Sri Krishna tameva ashrayaha. In one of the prayers it is said, please repeat, Shri Krishna Sharanam Samasta Jagatam Krishnam Vina Kagatihi. So Sri Krishna Sharanam, the lotus feet of Krishna, his Sharana, the whole universe is existing because he is giving shelter to everyone. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions this fact, that I am the shelter of the whole universe. Krishnam vina ka gatihi. If it is not for Krishna, then what gati, what destination we would have? Krishnena pratihanyate Kalimalam. So this mal of Kali, inauspiciousness of Kali, Krishnena pratihanyate, he can actually take away that Kalimal. There is one, nice bhajan, Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jai Keshava Kalimalahari, Radhe Shama Shama Sham. Sometimes we should sing in some home program. So he is Kalimalahari. The mal, the contamination of Kali Yuga, that actually makes our lives miserable, he takes that away. And therefore, Krishnaya Karyam Namaha. So Krishna's such deed, who takes away the inauspiciousness out of our life, we pay obeisances to him. Krishna Trayastikala Bhima Bhujago Krishnasya Sarvam Vashet. So then there is the time factor. The time factor destroys everything, but guess what? Krishna is the controller of the time factor, and he is Bhima Bhujago, he is mighty armed as well. In front of Krishna, even the time cannot exist. So Krishna Strayasti Kala Bhima Bhujago Krishnasya Sarvam Vashet. Everything is under the control of Krishna. Krishnasya Sarvam Vashet. And what do we aspire for? Krishner Bhakti Rakhandita Bhavatu Me. So Krishner Bhakti, we desire Krishna Bhakti, and that too Akhandita. Akhandita means without any breakage, not only Sunday, every day, not only 1 hour, every moment. This is called Akhandita. Krishner Bhakti Rakhandita Bhavatu Me Bho Krishna Tameva Ashrayaha Bho Krishna Tameva Ashrayaha. O Krishna, you are my only shelter. You are my ashraya. So let's deposit our faith in this fact that taking ashraya of Krishna and his devotees like Narad Muni will actually be of ultimate benefit to us. Text number 19. Please repeat. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narotamam Devim sarasvatim vyasam Tato jayam mudirayet Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So two things about these verses. That firstly, Srimad Bhagavatam, Tato Jayam Mudirayet, will conquer everything. Therefore, if we want to be victorious and successful in life, we should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Secondly, this seva of Srimad Bhagavatam and the devotees who are saving Bhagavatam has to be done nitya, nityam bhagavata sevaya. And this will destroy nashta, prayeshu, abhadra. Abhadra means all the dirty things in our lives. And it will establish bhakti as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Actually, we had done up to text number 22. I just remember now. So let's look at that. Text number 22. We'll look at few words which are very significant in this verse. So if we go to yes, Ato Arhata Sthavaratam. So Narad Muni cursed this to Sthavara. Sthavara means that which doesn't move, plants. So to be trees. And immobility like that of tree. Syatam, they may become. Na, not evam, in this way, yatha, as punha, again. However, smritihi syat. Smriti means remembrance. Their remembrance of what transpired will continue. So these two, although in form of trees, would have full consciousness and remembrance of what they were in their past life and how Narad Muni cursed them and for what purpose Narad Muni cursed them. This is Narad Muni's mercy. But then there is special mercy. And what is that special mercy? Narad Muni says, Mat prasadena tatrapi. By my mercy, tatrapi, over and above that, Mat anugrahat, by my special favor. What is that special favor? Vasudevasya sanidhyam. Sanidhyam means close proximity, close association of Vasudeva Krishna. So Krishna, as a young boy, Krishna is about 3 years, 4 months old by this time. And these two huge trees are in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And Krishna is playing. He's playing hide and seek along with his friends around this tree. Krishna is touching these trees. And every time Krishna touches these trees, Nalkuber and Manigriv are fully conscious that this is Supreme Lord Krishna. And he's touching us. This is called Brahma Sparsha. When Krishna touches, our life actually becomes fully spiritualized. So this is the special mercy of Narad Muni, Vasudevasya sanidhyam, labdhva divya sharatchate. And they would, labdhva, obtain divya sharat shate vrate, after expiry of 100 years by the measurement of demigods. So in the purport, it is explained that 1 day of human being is how many measure of demigods? Yes, it's sorry, 6 months. 6 months. However, when the day is mentioned here, the calculation is of 12 hours. If 24 hours is taken, then it's 1 year. So by that calculation, these two were cast as per earthly time frame, 36,000 years. So imagine 36,000 years, they were just huge, gigantic trees. That's how long their life was. However, in terms of eternity, this is insignificant. because we are existing from time immemorial. Radha Govind Maharaj, this morning's class I was hearing from him, he was saying Anadikal. From time immemorial, we are existing Vimukha, separate from Krishna. Navaja Jala Lakshani. We have gone through the process of 900 forms of aquatics in water, fishes, and so and so. Stharava Laksha Vimshati. 2 million types of trees. We have already been through that cycle. 84 lakh yoni, 84 million forms of life. 1.1 million forms of reptiles. 1.2 million types of birds. Pakshinam. And then 3 million forms of animals, four-legged animals. And I think 1.1 million again insects and reptiles. Did I say that? Yeah. Yes, I've said that. And then 400,000 different forms of human beings. And somehow or the other, by good fortune, we have got this human birth.
Sorry, Prabhu. Sorry, I have a question here. This 400,000 forms of human forms means what it is exactly? We are one of the form or how many?
Yeah, we are one of those forms. So it's not only in this planet, other planet, the Gandharva Loka, Deva Loka, like every that comes in the human category.
Okay. So in our Bharata Khanda or Bharata Varsha, so we are the one type of human being.
No, even within us there is different, so there is Africans, there is Chinese, like all different varieties. So not only, race, but the physiological conditioning, of different persons that comes in that count as well.
So, but we can't make out what we are like. For example, you say that Chinese or Indians, like, so it is a division again under that.
Well, that division is given in Srimad Bhagavatam as well. In second canto, that Kirat, Hunandra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhir, Shumbash.
Yes, I remember.
Yes. So that division is there as well. But what we have to remember that how special our position is. Why? Because human birth firstly is very rare. But having association of devotees who know the supreme absolute truth, that is even more rare. Therefore Govindas Thakur says, Bhajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanar Vindare. Durlabha Manava Janama is Durlabha. But on top of that, what is more Durlabha is Satsange, the association of devotees. Because through association of devotees, Tarahae Bhava Sindhure. So if we have a demigod body, after the expiry of demigod life, then what happens? We come back again to the material world. And then the whole cycle again starts. However, these two, Nalkuber and Manigriv, just within a very short span, 100 years, they went directly back home, back to Godhead. It was such a good deal. Jai Shri Radhagiri Govardhandari ki. It was such a good deal.
It happened very quick. Actually.
Very quick. Very quick. And for so many zillions of years, we don't know. We have been just wandering in the cycle of birth and death. Brahmanda Brahmite it is called. So, this was very fortunate. Therefore, here he says, Vasudevasya Sanidhyam. On top of that, Krishna is just playing around with them. Labdhva Divya Sarachate Vrite Svarlokabhyo Labdhva Bhakti Bhavishyati. Labdhva Bhakti Bhavishyati. This is more important, that they will get bhakti in future. By direct association of Krishna and mercy of Narad Muni, they'll get bhakti. So this word to word that Prabhupada is giving is very important. Let's try to learn these verses as well. So we'll go to text number 23.
I have got one more question. In this, but I was like yesterday we were discussing, you said that mukti and vimukti.
Yes.
Mukti you said like liberation. Vimukti is like, there was one word I forgot that. So what is the exact...
Vishesh mukti iti vimukti. Mukti Vimukti iti Vishesha Mukti means special liberation. That special liberation is bhakti. Due to bhakti,
then you get
the byproduct is mukti automatically. So like Bilvamangal Thakur says, Bhakti tvai sthirayata bhagavad yadi syan. That bhakti tvai, onto you, sthirayata, becomes established, bhagavad yadi syat. If this happens, then daivena yad phalati divya kishora murti. What is the result of that? That phalayati, the result is, by providence, divya kishora murti, we are able to see Krishna face to face, his youthful divine form face to face, which these two will see now. And then he says, Muktim swayam mukulutanjali sevyate smat. For a devotee, mukti, liberation personified, is standing at the doorstep with hands folded. Mukula means hands. Mukulutanjali means when the hand is put like this. The mukti wants to save a devotee. Muktim swayam mukulutanjali sevyate smat. And then Dharmartha kama gatayo samaya pratiksha. The faculties of mundane religion, wealth and kama, desires, they are standing behind mukti, liberation, waiting for the devotee to look at them so that the devotee can bless them. But the devotee is not interested on all that because he has got Krishna. Is that so? That is vimukti, special mukti. Otherwise, mukti is derided by even the devotees. I remember my Guru Maharaj used to sing this bhajan. Harina janato mukti na mange mange janam janam avatar re nij seva nitya kirtan uchhava Nirakhava Nanda Kumar Re Bhutala Bhakti Padartha Motu. It's in Gujarati. So he says, in this earth, the greatest thing to be achieved is bhakti. And therefore he says, Harina Janato Mukti Na Mange. The devotees of Lord Hari, they don't want mukti. They want what? Janama Janama Avatar. Again and again they should come back and do kirtan, Krishna bhakti. And there is nothing like that. So verse number 23. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Uktva Sadeva Rishir Gato Narayana Ashramam Nalakuvara Mani Grivao Asatur Yamalarjuno. Translation. Shukdev Goswami continued, having thus spoken, the great saint Devarishi Narad returned to his ashram known as Narayana Ashram, and Nalakuvara and Manigriva became twin Arjuna trees. Purport: Arjuna trees are still found in many forests, and their skin is used by cardiologists to prepare medicine for heart trouble. This means that even though they are trees, they are disturbed when skinned for medical science. These trees, has anyone seen Yamalarjuna trees? I don't know what they are called in English, but on the way to Sydney, I remember we were driving, and there was a small town. There we saw these trees. And those who are from Mauritius or been to Mauritius, these trees are in ample there. They're very, very huge, big trunks, and very deep rooted. The roots are spread all over the place. And in Mauritius, every year there is about 3 or 4 cyclones come, and everything around goes flat, but these trees, they stand still. It is said the power of even 10,000 elephants is not enough to even shake these trees. And elephants are very powerful. 24. Risher Bhagavan Mukhasya. Sorry. Risher Bhagavata Mukhasya. Satyam kartum vacho harihi. Jagama shanaikaistatra. Yatrastam Yamalarjunam. The personality of God, please repeat, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, to fulfill the truthfulness of the words of the greatest devotee, Narada, slowly went to that spot where the twin Arjuna trees were standing. Word to word, please repeat. Rishahe, of the great sage and saintly person, Narada, Bhagavata, Mukhasya, of the topmost of all devotees. So Bhagavata here is referred to Narada, the topmost of all devotees. And then Mukhasya. Mukhasya means from his mouth. He uttered from his mouth words that, you be trees, but Krishna will come, Vasudevasya Sanidhyam, you will have his association, and then you will be liberated. Now, who is Narad Muni to do this? But here we see Krishna regards words of Narad Muni and he wants to prove them right. And that will be explained in the next verse why. So, Satyam, truthful, Kartum, to prove, Vachaha, his words, Harihi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Jagama, went there. So to prove the words of his pure devotee Narad Muni, Kartum Vachaha Harihi, Hari went there. Shanaikahi, very slowly. Just picture this. How is Krishna now? He is tied to the wooden grinding mortar. Mother Yashoda has already tied him. Wooden grinding mortar to Ukhala. And Krishna is now doing what?
He's just
crawling. And the Ukhala has stand sideways. So when she tied, the Ukhala was straight. Now Krishna is crawling, the Ukhala has stand sideways, like Mridanga, like that. And Krishna is crawling. And he is doing it very slowly. Even though it is said Krishna is faster than fastest. But here, Mother Yashoda has tied him. And to respect his pure devotee, Mother Yashoda, Krishna is very slowly moving. Shanaika. Shanaika means slowly. Sometimes it's good to slow down as well. Even Krishna slows down. Our life is like too fast. It's good to slow down. Take a few deep, nice breaths and just think on these matters. Tatra. Yatra astam. So, yatra, to the spot where astam, they were, Yamala Arjuna, the twin Arjuna trees. Text number 25. Devarishir me priyatamo yad imau dhana atmajo tat tatha sadhayishyami yad gitam tan mahatmana. Translation. Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them. So Krishna is saying, Prabhupada translates here, that Krishna actually says that actually I don't have anything to do with them. They are drunkards, they are intoxicants. Why should I have anything to do with them? However, Devarishi Narad is my very dear and affectionate devotee. And therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. So, here this philosophy comes that it may be difficult to approach Krishna directly or virtually impossible because he is too big. However, Krishna is Bhakta Adhina. Bhakta Adhina means that he loves his devotees so much that he comes under their control. He says in Bhagavatam, Aham Bhakta Paradhino. Nice ways, please repeat. Aham Bhakta Paradhino. Krishna says, I am dependent on the will of my devotee. He asvatantra ivadvija. He asvatantra ivadvija. What does asvatantra mean? Not independent. Swatantra means independent. Now see, this is the contradiction. In the first verse of Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva says Krishna is Swarat. Swarat means fully independent. But here Krishna says, actually I am not independent, I am dependent on the will of my devotee. And he's already demonstrated that by allowing Mother Yashoda to tie him. He became dependent on her will. Why? Because sadhugrasta hridayo. Because the devotee, the sadhu, binds Krishna, grasta, hridayo, in his heart with devotion, with rope of love. And then he goes on to say, Bhakta bhaktair janapriyaha. Bhakta bhaktair janapriyaha. What to speak of my devotee? Even the devotee of my devotee is dear to me. So herein lies the secret on how we can become very close to Krishna very quickly. If we become attached to a pure devotee of Krishna, then our path towards devotional service and bhakti, it's a path of fast track. Very quickly we achieve devotional service, because then Krishna becomes impelled to reciprocate. Like here, from the translation we read that Krishna actually didn't want anything to do with them, but because Narada Muni, his pure devotee, Krishna's pure devotee, promised, then Krishna became obliged. Devarishi me priyattamo. So, word to word. Devarishi, the great saint Devarishi Narad. Me, my, priyattamaha, most beloved devotee. This word is significant. Priyattama. And Krishna gives the reason why he will deliver these two. Yad, although, imau, these two persons, Nalkuvara and Manigriva, Dhanada Atmajo, born of rich father and being non-devotees. So basically Krishna is saying, spoiled brats of rich father. Dhana Atmajo. Tat, the words of Devarishi, Tatha, just so, Sadhayishyami, I shall execute, because he wanted me to come face to face with the Yamala Arjuna. I shall do so. Yad Geetam is already stated, Tat, that Mahatmana, by Narad Muni. So here again the significant word is Yad Geetam. So it is said when Narad Muni kissed, he wasn't angry. He actually sung the kiss. When you are angry, you don't sing. But Narad Muni sung the kiss as if he is giving the blessing. Yad Geetam Mahatmanam. So in the first line, Krishna mentions his pure devotee Narada, and also in the last line he mentions pure devotee Narada, and that shows that everything Krishna does, the first prerogative is Krishna's devotee, and the last prerogative is Krishna's devotees. Everything he does is for the sake of the devotees. Otherwise, what does Krishna need to do? It is said in Upanishads, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. There is nothing in this world that Krishna has to do. But nonetheless, the gopis, what they say to Krishna, oh Krishna, you please just move your hips and dance. And we'll give you Chachya Bhari Chach. Chachya Bhari Chach means you put your palms together and whatever buttermilk fits, that is what we'll give you. Now Krishna is Shriyapati, Lokapatir, Dharapatir, Dhiyampatir. He is the Patir, he is the master of all the planets. If he wants chash, buttermilk, he can create a planet of his own and just swim in it. He doesn't need. But what? For the sake of devotee, Krishna chooses to dance, and he just moves his hips and hands in such a dancing way that the gopis feel so much pleasure, and that pleasure increases Krishna's pleasure. Krishna, who kills and defeats so many demons, when he fights with his friends, guess what? He loses. Actually, his friends say to Krishna, Krishna, don't think just because you have killed few demons here and there that you are very big. You haven't yet fought with me. Tumi ami kaun bado? They say, Tumi ami sama. Who is greater amongst us two? Tumi ami sam. We are both same. This is what Krishna's friends say to Krishna out of love. And what they have, this condition that whoever loses the wrestling match, the loser has to carry the winner on the shoulders and do the parikrama of whole Vrindavan. So Krishna loses, and who does Krishna carry on his shoulders? Sridhama. He carries Sridhama on his shoulders and does whole parikrama of Vrindavan, and everyone shouts, oh, Krishna lost, Krishna lost. So for the sake of devotee, Krishna does anything. Bhishma Dev also mentions that in his prayers, when he is about to leave his body, that Ritam Adhi Kartum Ava Pluto Rathastha. The first line is I forgot the first line, but Bhishma Dev took a vow that Jai Shri Shri Radha Giri Govardhandhari ki, Yashomati Nandan Damodar Bhagavan ki Jai. Yes. Swanigamam apaha yamat pratigna ritam adhikartum ava pruto rathastha. On the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna took a vow that he won't carry any weapons. However, Swanigam apahaya yamat, and Bhishma Dev, we won't go into the detail of why this happened, but Bhishma Dev at one point in the battle took a vow, I'll force Krishna to take a weapon. And Bhishma Dev fought so valiantly that to save Arjuna, Krishna had to take a weapon. Of course, there was no weapon there. but there was a broken chariot and its wheel had fallen apart. So Krishna took that chariot wheel. Anything you take on your hand to kill someone, that's a weapon. So, Swanigamam abhaya yamat pratigna. So Bhishma Dev says that my vow that I will make you carry weapon, you gave that ritam adhikartum. Adhikartum means adhika. Adhika means extra. You get extra importance to your vow than my vow. And what did you do? Avapluto rathastha. Krishna just jumped out of the chariot. Avapluto rathastha. And Dhritaratha charano. And nearby the Ratha charana means the wheel was there. Dhritaratha charano abhyayat chaladgur. He just carried on his hand and he just ran toward Bhishma there. Ritam adhikartum avapluto rathastha. Dhritaratha charno yayat chaladgur hari vahantum mibham gato toriya. Bhagavatam describes as if a lion goes to kill an elephant. Like that, Krishna ran towards Bhishma Dev. And on top of that, Arjuna is running after Krishna and he gets hold of Krishna's leg. But Krishna is not stopping. Arjuna is dragged along. I don't know if you have seen that picture of Bhishma Dev carrying the wheel to kill, Krishna carrying the wheel of chariot to kill Bhishma Dev, and Arjuna is being dragged along. Arjuna is holding on to Krishna's leg by the thigh, but he's been dragged along. So Bhishma Dev says, you regarded my promise as more important over your promise. So Krishna even breaks his promise for the sake of the devotee. So if for the sake of devotees, Krishna is willing to go to such an extent, then shouldn't we have Krishna as our beloved, as our friend, as our spiritual master, as our worshipable deity, as our father, as our mother? So therefore, Krishneva tameva ashrayaha. Krishna is the best shelter. Because for our sake, for the sake of the devotee, Krishna is willing to go to any extent. The battle of Kurukshetra may seem unfair at some points in time. Now when Arjuna goes, takes a vow, he'll kill Jayadratha, for example, before sunset. So Krishna, through his Sudarshan Chakra, actually hides the sun for a little while when the sun is about to set. And then everyone thinks, sunset has happened, and Arjuna has to take Agni Samadhi, has to immolate himself in fire, self-mutilate himself in fire. And as soon as Jayadratha comes out, he was hiding behind all the warriors. Then Krishna removes the Sudarshan Chakra, the sunlight appears. Krishna says, Arjuna, take your Gandiva, here is Jayadratha, and here are you. And Arjuna shoots the arrow, and that's how Jayadratha dies. Now people will say, Krishna, you cheated. Krishna says, for the sake of my devotee, I'm willing to do anything and everything. As far as Satya Vrata is concerned, Satya Vrata means vow of truthfulness. What is Krishna's first and foremost vow of truthfulness?
To establish religion.
Name bhaktaha pranashyati. That my devotee will never perish. And for that sake, even if Krishna has to break the so-called religious principles, he will. So for our sake, if someone is willing to go to any extent, I forgot the word which is used by Bhishma Dev again in Sanskrit. Look at those prayers. That, yes, he is driving the chariot of Arjuna, and it is said Krishna was willing to go to any extent to protect Arjuna. Not only Arjuna, but his chariot. Not only Arjuna was dear to Krishna, but Arjuna's chariot was also dear to Krishna because Arjuna was on that chariot. So here, the same principle, we see that Narad Muni is Priyattama, very dear to Krishna. And for his sake, even though these two did not deserve, they got the highest benediction of bhakti. Can someone read the purport? Okay. Loudly, Prabhuji.
Nalakuara and Manigriva actually had nothing to do with devotional service or seeing the Supreme Personality of God face to face. So this is not an ordinary opportunity. It is not because one is very rich or learned or was born in an aristocratic family, one will be able to see Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. This is impossible. But in this case, because Narada Muni desired that Nalakuara and Manigriva see Vasudeva face to face, the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to fulfill the words of his very dear devotee Narada Muni. If one seeks favor of a devotee instead of directly asking favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is very easily successful. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakur has therefore recommended Vaishnava, Thakura, Tomara, Kukura, Bulia, Janaha More. Krishna says, Tomara Krishna Dite Para. One should desire to become like a dog in strictly following a devotee. Krishna is in the hand of a devotee. Adrubalabham Atma Bhaktav. Thus, without the favor of a devotee, one cannot directly approach Krishna. What to speak of engaging in a service? Narottama Dasa Thakura therefore sings, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payecha Eva. Unless one becomes a servant of a pure devotee, one cannot be delivered from the material condition of life. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava society, following the steps of Rupa Goswami, our first business is to seek shelter of bona fide spiritual master, Dadav Guru Ashraya.
Adav Guru Ashraya. So the paper is very heavy and and very apparent. So the last line again, Prabhupada says, our first business is to seek the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, Adav Guru Ashraya. So Krishna Ashraya is God when we get Guru Ashraya. So, if we pray to Krishna sincerely, Krishna, please bring in our lives such a Guru, then Krishna sends such a Guru through which we can attain Krishna. So it is said, Brahmanda Brahmite Kauna Bhagyavan Jiva. We are wandering in this universe, life after life, but who is the fortunate person? Kauna Bhagyavan Jiva. Guru Krishna Prasada Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. That person is Bhagyavan, fortunate, who receives the mercy of Guru. And what is the mercy of Guru? He gives Krishna. And what is the mercy of Krishna? He gives Guru. And Guru, as Mataji said, plants Bhakti Lata Bij into the heart of the devotee. Because that seed of Bhakti Lata, Guru has it. The spiritual master, because he is the devotee of Krishna, he has that seed and he can implant that seed in our hearts. And then that lata means a creeper. By constantly following the instruction of spiritual master, and the main instruction is Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and singing the glories of Krishna, that creeper becomes into a strong tree and reaches Golok Vrindavan. So, if somehow or the other we can, in this lifetime, get attached to such a personality who is a pure devotee of Krishna and who takes in charge of our life, as we previously mentioned, what was that? Acharyavan Purusho Vedo. We need to be like a remote control in the hands of Guru. Guru, our life, the remote control of our life, we have to hand it over to the Guru. Yes, say. Whatever you say, I'll do that. Prabhupada here says, like a dog of a spiritual master. You know, in Ramayana there is one pastime. Actually, this Ramayana pastime is been narrated in Sri Rangama by Ramanujacharya. And he's telling that when Vibhishana, Raman's brother, left Lanka and he came to take shelter of Lord Rama, then along with Vibhishana, 4 Rakshasas also came. And so at first when they came, they were stopped by the monkeys, the Vanaras. And they wanted to kill them. But then Sugriva said, let's first go inside and inform Lord Rama. And they went inside and informed Lord Rama, oh, you know, Vibhishana has come and he's Ravana's brother. He's come to take your shelter. But our opinion is that we should not trust him. He's the brother of the enemy. You know, he'll tell all our secrets there. So Lord Ram, you know, started taking various opinions. And everyone said, no, we should kill him. We should let him go or kill him. And then Lord Ram asked Hanuman, Hanuman, what do you think? So Hanuman said, my Lord, as far as I remember, and I can recall, and I know, Vibhishana is your pure devotee. Why? Because when Hanuman went to Lanka, to burn Lanka, then when he entered Lanka, he saw all kinds of sinful things happening there. But there was only one courtyard in Lanka where chanting of the names of Lord Ram was coming, and that was from Vibhishana's house. Vibhishana was chanting, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Continuously this mantra was going on during the early morning time, Brahma Muhurat. And Hanuman wondered, in such a, polluted place, who is chanting Lord Ram's name? And when he entered the house, he saw Vibhishana was there, he was chanting. And so when Ravana captured Hanuman, after Hanuman destroyed the Ashoka Vatika, and he gave Mother Sita the ring that Lord Ram had given, and then Ravana, what he did, he wanted to kill him, but Vibhishana actually, he had soft spot for Hanuman as well. So Vibhishana said, don't kill him. Firstly, he's a doot, he's a messenger, and then secondly, he's a monkey. Rather you set fire to his tail. And what did Hanuman do? Burn the whole Lanka, except for one house. Whose house? Vibhishana. Why did not he burn Vibhishana's house? Yes, devotee of the Lord. Another reason.
Because there was the Ram coming from the house?
Yes, that's the same, devotee of the Lord.
Because he saved his life. By burning the child, he stopped Ravana to kill the...
Okay, that could be the reason as well.
The compassion is, he saved me, so I have to...
It's the only house where Tulsi Maharani was there as well.
Yes.
And Vibhishan had written Ram's name all across the walls.
Yes, very good. All those reasons are correct. But there is one more reason. That reason is that Vibhishan was Ravan's younger brother. Vibhishan was a devotee of Lord Ram. And Hanuman thought Vibhishan doesn't belong there. He's in the wrong side. So if I don't burn his house, Ravan will doubt his allegiance. And eventually, sooner or later, Ravan will kick him out. And this is exactly what happened. When Vibhishana proposed that no, return Mother Sita, Ravan got mad and he accused him of being a spy. He accused him of being, enemy of this dynasty, Kuladrohi, and Ravana kicked him out. So this is what the expert devotee does. Expert devotee breaks our undue attachment to that which will stop our progress in devotional service. Now, why did Narad Muni have to go to Kamsa, and tell that, the 8th child could be anyone? When first child was born, Vasudeva took the child to Kamsa, and Kamsa's heart softened. No, 8th child will kill me. You take the first child away. Of course, there is another reason behind it. But when Vasudeva took the first child away, then Devaki also, her heart also softened. Actually, Devaki was very attached to Kamsa. They were first cousins. More than first cousins, they were like friends, best of brothers, like brother-sister relationship they had. So Devaki had a very soft heart for Kamsa. But as long as we have attachment for miscreant persons in our lives, then Krishna doesn't come due to that asat sangha. So Narad Muni wanted to break that affection Devaki had for Kamsa. So therefore Narad Muni tells Kamsa, 8th child could be anyone. Where you come? Where is the starting point of the circle? It's round. So how do you start the counting? Could be anyone. So when Kamsa started killing all the children, then Devaki lost all affection she had for Kamsa, and then Krishna manifested himself in her heart and came through her womb. So similarly, Vibhishana had affection for Ravana, and Hanuman expertly destroyed their affection by not burning his house. And now Vibhishana has come to seek shelter of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram then says, even if one comes to my shelter, even if his appearance is friendly, but his intention is not, I will still accept him. It is called this Vakya, Ramanya Vakya, where the solemn vow of Lord Ram, he says that if even for once anyone comes to my shelter and says, oh my Lord, I'm yours, then I will give him fearlessness forever. Lord Ram says that. I forgot the Sanskrit. If our Lord Ram was here, he could remember. Jamadagni Prabhu. He became Lord Ram in that drama. Anyway, the verse I think is Tasmai Abhayam Sada Pashyet Etad Mama Dradavrata, something like that. This is my solemn vow. If someone says, my Lord, I'm yours, then I give him shelter forever. So that's how Vibhishana gained the shelter. But along with Vibhishana, those 4 Rakshasas also came. They were not questioned because they were taken that they are under Vibhishana's shelter. When Vibhishana was interrogated and then allowed, then those 4 Rakshasas also were allowed without interrogation. It was taken. If Vibhishana is okay, then they are also okay. So similarly, we also may not be qualified. However, if we are under a shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord, when the time of judgment comes, they will ask, okay, who is he under? Who is in charge of him? And he say, no, Srila Prabhupada is in charge of him. No, his guru is in charge of him. Then they'll say, okay, just let them in, go. By the dint of a pure devotee's devotional service, and due to their merit, we who are unqualified, we actually have a chance to enter the kingdom of God. But we should not take undue advantage of it. Sincerity of purpose is most important thing. If we are unfaithful to Guru or spiritual master, then Krishna no way can forgive, will never forgive. So it's like Guru is also described as a ship. If you are on the ship, no matter what you are doing in the ship, when it reaches the port, you reach the port. Doesn't matter, you are cleaning the toilet, you are cooking in the ship, you are the captain of the ship, you are the salesman of the ship, whatever you are. So similarly, if we stay under the guidance of a spiritual master, we reach the destination. This is the purport of this verse. Any questions? Mataji?
You said that we don't have to be unfaithful. Like, what are the examples of being unfaithful to a spiritual master?
Examples of being unfaithful to the spiritual master. Taking initiation and not having faith could be one. That not having faith that my spiritual master can deliver me. Or not following the instructions he has given us. There is a difference. Not following and not being able to follow. So, sometimes not all instructions a disciple may be able to follow. But what does the disciple do about it? Does he become complacent? That, oh, I can't do this, so let it be. No, the disciple feels guilty. The disciple feels like ending his life. I'm not able to follow these instructions. So, the love that a disciple has for spiritual master, eventually the disciple will do everything the spiritual master says. Even though there may be some blockages. Our Guru Maharaj once wrote a letter to one of the disciples. And he said, what is the job of spiritual master? The job of spiritual master is to recognize the individuality of the disciple. That this disciple has this capability, but at the same time, this disciple has this problem. So the problem, whether lawful or unlawful, the Guru can make laws for the disciple. And the whole purpose is what? To remove the blockages which is stopping their progress in devotional service. And when that blockage is removed, then the flow is constant. Therefore, every morning we are supposed to sing Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koriya Ikya Arana Koiribo Mane Asha. I don't have any other hope, any other desire than to listen to the words of my spiritual master. Is that okay, Mataji? Yeah. I was listening to Radha Govinda Maharaj and he was mentioning that there is commentary on this pastime that Krishna is bound. And he is bound but he is releasing. So sometimes it is said the spiritual master may not be a liberated person. But nonetheless, if he is sadhava, meaning following and abiding by the scriptures and repeating everything the scripture is saying, then following such a spiritual master and having faith in him will still liberate the disciple. So we should not, actually even judge another devotee that, oh, he is like that, he is like that. Everyone has their baggages, but it is Krishna who releases one of their own baggages. So this thing of judgment actually goes away when actually we all come down, sit and hear Bhagavatam. I know what my weakness is, you know what your weakness is. You may know someone other's weakness as well. But when we sit down and hear Bhagavatam, it is said three things happen. First thing is that we don't think about weaknesses of others. Secondly, the hunger and thirst does not bother us. And thirdly, there is no envy in our heart for anyone else. And this is the beauty of Bhagavatam. We'll go on to next verse, 26. Iti antare narjunayoho Krishnastu yamayor yuyo Atmanirvesha matrena Tiryagatam ulukhalam. So Krishna is crawling and the ulukhala, wooden grinding mortar, is being dragged behind him. Having thus spoken, Krishna soon entered between the two Arjuna trees, and thus the big mortar in which he was bound turned crosswise and stuck between them. The wooden grinding mortar got stuck between the two trees. Krishna went through the trees. 27. Balena niskarashayat tavag ulukhalam tad. Balena nishkarashayatang vakulu. No, it's not recited. Balena niskarashayatang vakulu tad. Damodare tarasot kalitangri bandho. Nishpetatu paramavikramitati vepa. Skandha pravala vitapo krita chanda shabdo. Translation. By dragging behind him with great force the wooden mortar tied to his belly, the boy Krishna uprooted the two trees. By the great strength of the Supreme Person, the two trees, with their trunks, leaves, branches, trembled severely and fell to the ground with a great crush. Word to word. Please repeat. Balena, by the boy Krishna. As a mere boy of 3 years old. Nishkarshayata, who was dragging. Anvak, following the dragging of Krishna. Ulukhalam, the wooden mortar. Tat, that. Dama udarena, by Krishna, who was tied by the belly. Tarasa, with great force. Utkalita, uprooted. Angribandho, the roots of the two trees. Nishpetatuhu, fell down. Paramavikramita, by the supreme power. Ativepa, trembling severely. Skanda, trunk. Pravala, bunches of leaves. Vitapo, the two trees, along with their branches. Krita, having made. Chanda Shabdo, a fierce sound. So just how Krishna uprooted these two trees, only Krishna can uproot the strong-rooted bondage to our material existence. Urdhva moolam adharshakha, Bhagavad Gita says, our material existence is very deeply rooted. And only Krishna can uproot it. How he uprooted these two Yamala Arjuna trees, 10,000 combined strength of elephants could not even shake it, but Krishna uprooted it. A few questions come here. That the rope tied to Krishna's belly, Damna, how could it support in breaking of the tree? Secondly, how could the wooden grinding mortar be so strong that it was able to break the tree? Because when we try to break some big trees, sometimes, the axe breaks, but nothing happens to the tree. So this was a mere rope. What is the reason for that?
Because it was becoming 2 finger short. Mother Yashoda would have tied it many rounds around the belly to the Krishna. Because of that.
Close.
Yeah.
Close. Anyone else?
I mean, a rope which can get tied to your Lord has to be strong and with his touch, all that.
Yes, very good. Because what does Damodar Ashtakam say in this regard?
Krishna Bhakti.
Rudantam Yugmam Rujantam Karam Bhuja Yugmena Satanke Netram Muhu Swasakam Bhakti Rekanka Kanta Sthita Grivam Damodaram Bhakti Baddham. It was the Baddha, bandhan of Bhakti, love. The bandhan of love, even Krishna cannot break. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he could have untied himself. But Krishna doesn't break like that. Of course, when Mother Yashoda tied him, he warned Krishna not to break, and he warned everyone there as well. Khabardar, koi jo khola ise. No one should open him. But more importantly, the rope of devotion which binds Krishna is unbreakable. So if rope is unbreakable, what about the wooden grinding mortar? Why didn't that break? Rahul Prabhu already mentioned that. Because the wooden grinding mortar was connected to the rope, which was devotion. And therefore, it had the same inherent quality of unbreakability. So similarly, if we are connected to a devotee who has love for Krishna, and we have sparsha of that devotee, then we also become of that kind. So the rope didn't break, the wooden grinding mortar did not break, but the 2 gigantic trees from the root were uprooted, and the sound that made krita chanda shabdo. I don't know if you have seen live any big trees falling down. I wish all our trees here fall down so that we can expand. Maybe Krishna will make that come true. Who knows? Krita chanda shabdo, a fierce sound came about. Purport. This is the pastime of Krishna known as Damodar Leela. Therefore, another of Krishna's names is Damodara, as stated in Hari Vamsha. Sachatenaiva namna tu Krishno Vaidama bandhanat goshte Damodara iti gopibi parigiyate. So, attained the name Damna. Damna means rope, Udara means belly. Damna was tied to the Udara, so his name became as Damodara. But at the same time, he is what? Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu. So he, although bound, but he still remains Supreme Lord. When we become bound, our Shakti goes. But Krishna is despite being Damodara, despite being bound, he is Ananta, unlimited, and he is Vishnu. Vishnu means he is Sarvatra and Sarvada. He is immeasurable. Yesterday we were mentioning this word, Aprameyam. Aprameyam means his power cannot be contained. He is immeasurable. Satyabhuta Muni therefore says, Namo De. So when we sing these verses or sing this song, we should think like this. He is Damodara, bound by love, but he is unlimited. It is showed here. By his power, he brought down the two gigantic trees, which even 10,000 combined elephant strength could not even shake. Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasiddha Prabhu Dukha Jalabdi Magnam. And what is he famous for? Removing all miseries. He is Prasiddha, for removing all the miseries in our lives. Prasiddha Prabhu Dukha Jalabdi Magno Kripa Drishti Vrishyate Dinam Batanu Grahane Shamam Ajnam Madhyakshi Drishyaha. Krishna, when he was bound by Mother Yashoda, then he saw these two trees, and just by his Kripa Drishti, he decided to deliver them. So similarly, O Lord Damodara, we are also deep-rootedly bound in this material existence. Please look upon us and deliver us from this miserable existence. So we are up to text number 28. From tomorrow we'll continue. So total verses in this chapter is 43. So I think by the end of this Damodar month, we will, Krishna willing, will be able to cover. So please join us at 6:30 a.m. We only now go for half an hour. And then on Friday, next week, the period of Bhishma Panchak starts, which is the most important period of Damodar month. So it's from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we'll have practical application of the pastimes of Damodar Leela in our lives. So Friday evening 6:30, and then Saturday we'll have children's presentation. Then Sunday morning same time, and then Monday, which is the last day, at 6:30 again we'll assemble here. Any questions, Mataji's, Prabhus? Any comments?
Prabhu, what is Harivansh that Prabhupada mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita?
Harivamsha is a book. Yeah. I haven't come across it myself. Yeah, we can find out more. Yeah. Is it Harivamsha Vilas? Same as Harivamsha Vilas? Possibly, yeah. There's a book, Harivamsha Vilas, I think. Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. We'll say Damodara Ashtakam and offer the lamps to Lord Damodara.